Dynastic warriors versus samurai versus European medieval knights. Who would win? The age-old question of who would win in a fight between the greatest warriors of different civilizations is as fascinating as it is impossible to answer definitively. In this comparison, we examine three legendary warrior classes: Chinese dynastic warriors, Japanese samurai, and European medieval knights. Each emerged from a unique blend of military need, cultural values, and martial tradition. Let's explore their training, weapons, armor, and battlefield tactics to understand how they compare, both in single combat and in larger conflicts. Background and training. Chinese dynastic warriors. From the Han to the Ming dynasty, dynastic warriors formed the backbone of imperial Chinese military power. These included elite guards, professional soldiers, cavalrymen, and strategic commanders. And trained from youth, especially those from military families or noble houses, and skilled in a wide range of weapons: the Jian straight sword, Dao saber, Jiang spear, bow and crossbow. And many were versed in both martial training and strategic theory, such as the art of war. And some warriors also trained in traditional martial arts, blending combat efficiency with philosophical discipline. The Japanese samurai. The samurai were the warrior elite of feudal Japan, trained not only in martial skills, but also in spiritual discipline through Bushido, the code of honor and loyalty. And masters of swordsmanship, kenjutsu, archery, kyudo, and horseback riding, and lived by strict codes of personal honor, often engaging in ritual suicide, seppuku, if disgraced. Trained in one-on-one combat but also served as military commanders in larger conflicts. European medieval knights. Knights were mounted nobles trained for war and chivalry. Their upbringing was shaped by feudal duty, Christian values, and the expectation of service in war. On began training as pages and squires before earning knighthood. Then specialized in cavalry combat, sword fighting, and jousting. And swore oaths of fealty and followed chivalric codes focused on loyalty, courage, and honor. Weapons and armor. Dynastic warriors and weapons: Jian double-edged sword, Dao saber, spear, halberd, bow, crossbow, and flexible weapons like chain whips. Unarmored, varied by dynasty: lamellar, brigandine, or partial plate with silk padding. Generally designed to balance protection and agility. Weapon versatility and ranged combat were common strengths. Samurai weapons: katana, wakizashi, yumi longbow, yari spear, and later firearms. Armor: lamellar armor oyoroi, constructed from lacquered iron and leather plates laced together. Balanced mobility and protection. European knights and weapons: longsword, lance, mace, flail, and crossbow infantry. Unarmored, chainmail early on, transitioning to full plate armor by the late Middle Ages. Extremely durable but heavy and restrictive in hot climates or rough terrain. Combat style and strategy. Dynastic warriors emphasize tactical flexibility and ranged warfare, especially with crossbows. Men skilled in both formation combat and duels. And cavalry, infantry, and archers often operated in coordinated formations, and tactics sometimes drew from military classics like Sun Tzu, and emphasized adaptability, deception, and positioning. Samurai favored honorable duels and precision strikes, when strong in archery and sword combat. Influenced by Zen discipline and minimalist fighting. Battlefield tactics were effective but often less flexible than Chinese or Western counterparts. European knights dominated in shock tactics and heavy cavalry charges. And swordplay and brute strength were critical in close quarters, less versatile in weaponry, more reliant on sheer force and armor. And rigid feudal systems shaped battlefield roles, often favoring heavy cavalry and siege warfare. Verdict: who has the edge? One-on-one combat and dynastic warriors, versatile and strategic, with strong proficiency in both ranged and melee combat. And samurai, extremely skilled in swordsmanship, fast and disciplined, with an edge in duels. Knights, heavily armored and powerful, but slower and more vulnerable to fast or ranged tactics. Edge: dynastic warriors likely have the upper hand in adaptability, and the use of diverse weapons. Samurai might win in a pure sword duel, but European knights could dominate if they survived the first few blows and bring their full weight to bear. On the battlefield, and dynastic warriors, often more tactically flexible and coordinated, with integrated units and emphasis on terrain use, and samurai, less cohesive as large armies, excelled in smaller unit combat or as elite fighters. And knights, fearsome in cavalry charges and sieges but weaker in irregular terrain and against disciplined formations. Edge. Dynastic warriors, particularly in the Tang or Ming periods, had superior battlefield organization and adaptability. Knights excelled in open field battles, while samurai shone in one-on-one or skirmish scenarios. So here is the final thought: context is king. Ultimately, each warrior class was a product of its time and environment. A Chinese dynastic warrior might outmaneuver and outthink his opponent. A samurai might win through precision and willpower. A knight might win through raw power and armor. Victory depends on terrain, weapons, training, and luck fate.